Good morning, my name is AE1 Robinson. I'm going to be your instructor today for maintenance control for organizational maintenance activities. I've been in the Navy for over 6 years now. My first command was FY20 While I was at 112, I picked up second class. They threw me right into the role as work center supervisor. I transferred from 112 to FY121. I picked up first while I was there, and they moved me over to QA division. And while I was in QA, I got the chance to get behind the maintenance control desk and see how it works to actually run maintenance. I'm looking forward today to sharing what I learned working the chiefs behind the desk, hearing some of your experiences, and making sure that we all have the knowledge that we need to properly run maintenance control. By show of hands, how many of us here are working the maintenance desk right now? It's the majority of us. For those of you not working the maintenance control desk, maybe you're here as a Technical Directive Program Coordinator, or TDPC. If so, we'll talk about how this topic relates to your job a little bit later. Now our topic today, 9.1, Maintenance Inspection Types and Responsibilities. This rolls right into our course as understanding the different types of maintenance and inspections is really important if, as a maintenance controller, you're going to be running the maintenance desk. You need to know what's required, know how to keep up with it. Now the NAMP lays out the minimum requirements for us to upkeep and maintain our aircraft. So it's really, really important that we make sure we don't allow any equipment or aircraft to overfly these scheduled inspections. When we do, we put at risk the health and safety of the air crew, the maintainers, the equipment, aircraft, and the facilities that we're responsible for. There is going to be a test at the end of this course. You'll be able to utilize your trainee guides, any notes that you've taken, as well as any of the references that we cover. When you finish this course, you'll be considered a subject matter expert. You're going to be responsible for one of the biggest roles in aviation maintenance, certifying aircraft safe for flight. So I encourage you to follow along, take notes, do your best. Now our enabling objective is to describe the planned maintenance system for aircraft, engines, and support equipment, going through the NAMP and how it describes these required maintenance and scheduled inspections. To follow along, turn to page 103 in your trainee guides. We're going to be in the NAMP in chapter 3, PDF, page 7. Does anybody have any questions before we get started?
No questions.
No question.
All right. Now, the NAMP describes two basic types of maintenance: rework and upkeep. Both of these types of maintenance apply no matter what level of maintenance activity we're talking about. Now, rework can be performed on aircraft or equipment, and it's performed by industrial type activities. When I say industrial type activity, what kind of organization am I talking about? Chief Bebeda.
Depot level?
Fantastic. Industrial type activities are our depot level activities. And just because we're talking about D level doesn't mean it's all done by civilian personnel. There are military personnel assigned to D level activities for specific functions, and one of those does include maintaining the aircraft logs and records. Now, our rework can be broken down into two categories. I'm going to move over now to Appendix A. We're on PDF, page 84. Our first category of rework is going to be standard rework. Standard rework is performed per an established recurring schedule, such as a fixed induction date or a period end date. And these schedules drive inspections like our PMI. Move now to PDF, page 91. The next type of rework is our special rework. Special rework is non-recurring, and it's done to improve or change the capability to perform specific missions or functions by replacement, removal, addition, alteration, or repair of structural components and installed parts or equipment. This is going to be our non-recurring or unscheduled kind of maintenance, and will include modifications and certain technical directives that have to be incorporated at the D level. Moving back over now to chapter 3, we'll talk about other basic type of maintenance, upkeep. Upkeep is performed on aircraft or equipment, and it's performed by military activities assigned aircraft. Now we're talking about our O level or the I level activities that support them. Just like with rework, upkeep can be broken down into two categories. Back in Appendix A, PDF, page 102. Our first category of upkeep is going to be standard upkeep. This is periodic or scheduled work performed on the aircraft, and this can be scheduled by flight hours or number of operating hours, or by the number of calendar days since the last inspection. Our next category of upkeep is going to be our special upkeep. This is non-recurring work. This is done on aircraft, equipment, or SE to improve, change, or restore the capability to perform specific missions or functions by replacement, removal, addition, or alteration of equipment on the aircraft. Special upkeep is going to include our non-recurring one-time inspections, unscheduled maintenance, or those technical directives that have to be incorporated at the O level. When I was at FY20 we had this technical directive that came out, and certain portions of that technical directive applied to certain aircraft. So it was really important that we kept track of which aircraft needed which section of that TD incorporated, and that we properly maintained the schedule. We didn't allow any aircraft to overfly the incorporation date for that technical directive. So we've talked now about the two basic types of maintenance the NAMP describes: our rework and our upkeep. And these two basic types of maintenance can be broken down into two categories. Standard maintenance is that which is done on a regular, recurring, scheduled basis. And then our special maintenance, this is non-recurring, one-time inspections, unscheduled maintenance, or our modifications and TDs. Does anybody have any questions before we move on?
No questions.
If anything does happen to, if any questions do happen to come up, please feel free to let me know. I am absolutely willing to stand by. We'll go over any questions that you have and make sure you have any of the knowledge that you're looking for. If we're ready to move on, we're going to go ahead into our summary and our review. Our enabling objective for this topic was to describe the planned maintenance system for aircraft, engines, and support equipment. We explored this enabling objective by talking about our basic types of maintenance, upkeep and rework, and the two different categories we break those down into: standard maintenance, special maintenance. Given what we've talked about, what category of maintenance would we consider calendar-based inspections? Chief Moses.
Standard upkeep.
Fantastic. Calendar-based inspections are recurring scheduled inspections, so they're going to be standard upkeep. Does anybody have any other questions?
No question.
As always, we have to make sure that we talk about the importance of safety in maintenance. These scheduled inspections are there to make sure our aircraft are in a condition that they're safe to operate. We have to make sure that we're properly managing these inspections and our unscheduled maintenance for the safety of the aircrew, maintenance personnel, the equipment, the aircraft, and our facilities. If nobody has any further questions, we're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll continue on with our next lesson.